Postmodernism is super messy, like far messier than Romanticism or Modernism. It kind of goes to the idea of make a mess and then clean it up. There can only be order because there's disorder. At the same time though, postmodernism also rejects this idea that order is the only good. It finds this idea very problematic. Postmodernism is a bricolage, or a quilt. It takes ideas from different parts of everything to create its own identity. Postmodernism is a reaction to the objective truths of modernism. The idea that there is one capital T truth. It rejects that, and that's kind of why you call it postmodernism. As such, there's one quote that really sums up postmodernism, at least for me. There is no hard distinction between what is real and what is unreal, nor between what is truth and untruth. A thing doesn't have to be true or false. It can be both true and false. Postmodernism likes to ask a lot of questions. It likes to ask about the norms, why they are, how they came to be. In that case, postmodernism is not a way to live. It's not a doctrine on how to perceive your life or walk through the world. It doesn't give you answers to the questions you have, or even to the things you find out by asking questions. It's kind of like, look at all these things I found. Wait, what do I do with them? Oh, I have no idea, but look at them, we found them. However, it is really important in terms of environmentalism. We need to question things. We need to question how we got to the way we are, how we live our lives, why our cities are designed the way they are, why we drive cars that are designed the way they are. Our transit systems, our agricultural systems, our systems of water treatment, they all need to be questioned. Of course, if we follow postmodernism, they'll never be answered. The crux of the matter for postmodernism is breaking down boundaries. They want to get to a point where we are so self-reflexive of ourselves, our society, and how we live, that there are no longer any boundaries there. They want to break down the boundary between high art and pop art, between culture and people, between self and other, to the point that there is nothing left. And of course this is problematic too, because what makes us human is this culture. But again, this isn't about whether postmodernism is great or not, but it's about how postmodernism has developed the world around us, and how it can be taken into context in the future. Postmodernism wants us to get to this point where we are no longer individual. We're so self-reflexive about how we live, how each other lives, how our society is formed, that there's this permeable membrane between me and you and other and everyone, and nature. It wants to get to the point of this deep connection known as deep ecology. Postmodernism doesn't want to judge the aesthetic of a product, but instead where the artist and where the product has come from. It doesn't care about how it looks or what its purpose is, but how it came to be. Of course, as I said before, it doesn't answer these questions. It doesn't want to know the answers to these questions. Postmodernism is not about judgment, but about questioning the existence of a thing. At the same time, postmodernism is not a way to live either, because while it does a very good job of questioning things, breaking down boundaries, and getting you to really think about the critical issues in your world and in your life, it is no way to answer them or give you a direction to go from there. In terms of architecture, it's a bit of the but why, well why not mentality. For instance, why is there that column in the middle of the hallway? Why is that staircase going to nowhere? Why is there no handle on that door? Why are these giant concrete structures holding up the building? Why is this building round and wobbly? The fact that you're asking these questions about buildings is kind of the essence of postmodernism. But there's no answer to them. It's a bit about, well, why not? Structures that seem incomplete, that don't seem to have a purpose to us, basically are most likely postmodernist structures. Now here's the question. If you were given a round room, and you were asked to put your current bedroom furniture into that room, how much trouble would you have? I'm gonna say you have a lot of trouble. You probably wouldn't ever find a comfortable place for your furniture to go. You'd never be comfortable with how the room looked. Your bed doesn't fit into the corner because there are no corners. Your shelves suddenly don't fit against the back of the wall. You have all these round edges and some of this square furniture sitting within it. This is kind of like asking you to fit into a room that's in a postmodernist building. You would probably find it very uncomfortable to fit into it. But here's the thing. Is that a failure of postmodernism to build structures, or a failure of us who have lived so far in the modernist era to adapt to the change of postmodernism? Postmodernist furniture could probably fit anywhere, because it's not meant to have a form to function. It's meant to be aesthetically pleasing, or have a reason for its creation. Now, this all is very messy. It's very complicated, and I've kind of diluted it a little bit to try to get you to understand how it is postmodernism came to be, and how it is that it's going to bring us to the forward. You might think that we're not in the postmodernist era yet, even though a lot of our buildings are starting to follow that form, if you will. The thing is, most people think we're actually probably outside of postmodernism now, in a kind of post-postmodernism. Now here's my question for you. What do you think that's going to look like? If we're in, or moving into a post-postmodernist era, what kind of things can we expect to see in our furniture, in our technology, in the way we live our lives? Do you think we're in a post-postmodernism era? I don't really know. My question, of course, is just how this is going to affect us in the future. How our ideas of questioning but not answering have either harmed us or take us forward. Of course, with that said, I'll see you next time for Environmental Supplement. Bye!